Okay, let's dive into this. Hello, Focus Learners, and welcome back to another explainer. Today, we are tackling a massive, incredibly urgent topic. It's something that's on the mind of literally almost every engineering leader and developer out there right now: AI coding tools. Every single week, thousands of people are just frantically searching for things like Copilot AI or Cursor IDE pricing, or trying to figure out which companies even offer these tools. The demand is absolutely explosive. But, well, here's the problem. Most organizations are just jumping straight to the sign-up page without pausing to ask if they're actually ready to use these tools effectively. So we're going to lay out the strategic blueprint for adopting these tools the right way.
Take a look at this number, 90. Now, search demand for these AI tools is completely off the charts, but there's a pretty shocking reality we need to confront here. Most AI tool rollouts, they stall out within just 90 days. Why? Because there's a total lack of process readiness. People are buying the shiny new software, but they're completely ignoring the system that software actually lives inside. So, to make sure you don't fall into that 90-day trap, here's our roadmap for this explainer to kind of lower your cognitive load. We're going to cover the AI FOMO trap, choosing your AI weapon, the integration checklist, calculating the real cost, and finally, planning for success.
All right, starting with Section 1, the AI FOMO trap.
So, the rise of AI copilots has created this intense, almost frantic buying pressure. But when buying the tool outpaces your actual process readiness, teams smack right into three massive walls. First, code quality takes a nosedive because there's no rigorous review. Second, you get massive security red flags popping up all over your proprietary code. And third, you've got frustrated leadership who literally cannot define the ROI. You see, these aren't actually tool problems, they're integration problems, and you've got to solve them before you buy, not after.
Moving right along to Section 2, choosing your AI weapon.
And this brilliantly illustrates the great debate, GitHub Copilot versus Cursor. Now, despite what the marketing might tell you, these two solve fundamentally different problems. Copilot, it's a low-friction extension. Think of it like an AI pair programmer that just layers right on top of your existing editor. You install it, and boom, you go. Cursor, on the other hand, is a standalone, completely AI-native editor. It replaces your environment entirely to handle these heavy agent workflows. So your choice really depends on whether you're looking for minimal disruption or if you're ready for a high-effort, paradigm-shifting kind of migration. Which brings us to Section 3, the integration checklist.
Okay, this 6-step blueprint is really the core of our explainer today. Before you sign any vendor contract, you absolutely must do these 6 things. Audit your code base, define your security policy, map to a workflow, understand the costs, plan your rollout, and set your success criteria. I'm telling you, skipping these steps is exactly why those rollouts fail within 90 days. Let's break down the most crucial pieces of this. Let's look at step 1, auditing your code base. I absolutely love this quote from our source material: "An AI copilot amplifies whatever discipline already exists." I mean, really think about that. Do you have automated tests set up that would actually catch a bad AI-generated change? Is your documentation current enough for an AI tool to even understand what's going on? Look, if your codebase is a mess, the AI isn't going to fix it. It's just going to amplify that chaos and generate messy code a whole lot faster. You've got to fix your internal discipline first.
Then there's step 2, security and data governance. Let me be crystal clear here. This is the most skipped item on the checklist, and it's the one that causes the absolute most damage later on. You have to decide, in writing, which tools are approved for proprietary code. You need to know for sure if the vendor is training their models on your code and exactly how to opt out of that. Remember, both Cursor and Copilot are routing requests through underlying third-party large language models. Do your compliance rules like SOC 2 or HIPAA restrict that? And whatever you do, don't just assume you're protected. Those free or individual tiers usually lack the privacy protections that you'd get at the business tier. Check those terms before you roll it out to the whole organization. For step 3, mapping to a workflow, just keep this phrase in the back of your mind. Vague adoption produces vague results. Strolling into a meeting and broadly declaring, "Hey, we're adopting an AI copilot," that is not a plan. A real plan sounds more like this: our back-end team is going to use it for boilerplate generation and test writing, which will then be rigorously reviewed under our existing pull request process. You have to map the tool to specific, measurable tasks if you actually want to see a real boost in engineering productivity.
All right, let's talk money in Section 4, calculating the real cost.
This right here is where budgets just fly off the rails. Budgeting based on the sticker price alone is incredibly dangerous. The old days of flat, unlimited access? Yeah, those are largely over. Today, both Copilot and Cursor rely on usage-based, credit-metered billing. Your real cost is dictated request by request, model by model.
So how do you suddenly end up with a massive overage bill? Usually it's three main culprits: heavy background agent use, large codebase-wide refactors, and just defaulting to the most premium frontier models for really simple tasks. These things chew through credits way faster than standard autocomplete. Because of this, it is strongly advised to run a paid pilot first. Seriously, take 3 to 5 of your developers, run the tool for maybe 2 to 4 weeks, and track their actual credit consumption. Extrapolate your team-wide budget from that real, tangible usage, not from some vendor's glossy marketing page.
Finally, let's wrap up with Section 5, Planning for Success.
Look, swiping the company card and buying licenses, that's the easy part. The real challenge hits when the software is ready, but your people aren't. Rollouts fail when developers aren't given proper prompt training. They fail when there's no strict policy for human review before a merge. And they definitely fail when your senior engineers just don't have the time to set up proper guardrails. AI is amazing at accelerating first drafts, but it completely lacks architectural judgment. That still needs a human. Which brings us to step 6 of our checklist, setting measurable success criteria. You absolutely must decide upfront exactly what metrics you're going to use to measure this tool's impact. Are you tracking cycle time? What about pull request throughput? Are you keeping an eye on the bug rate specifically for AI-assisted code? Or maybe you're tracking the cost per feature shipped. If you don't nail down your metrics before the rollout begins, you are literally flying blind.
And if you're flying blind, you are never going to be able to answer this question. It's the ultimate question that every finance team, every executive, and every stakeholder is eventually going to ask you. Was this worth it? Buying a tool is such a small decision in the grand scheme of things, but integrating it into your workflow so that it's governed, measurable, and genuinely adopted, now that is intelligent business transformation. Take a hard look at your own organization's readiness right now. Are you truly prepared to answer that question? Thank you so much for joining me on this Explainer Today, Focus Learners. Keep asking the right questions, and I'll catch you